little about my background and how I ended up cooking this way. About 15 years ago, I went through a series of health issues. Started out with getting a really bad case of strep throat from my daughter, and I ended up having to go on a lot of antibiotics for that. And then from the antibiotics, I ended up breaking out in hives, and they put me on steroids. And then about 3 weeks after that, I had to go to the dentist for an old cavity that needed some repair work. And unfortunately, the dentist that I went to didn't exactly do things properly and didn't put the dam in the back of my mouth. And I ended up, he drilled the mercury filling, and I ended up ingesting a good bit of the mercury. All three of those things happened in about a 3-week period of time. And about a month after that, I could not get out of bed. I mean, it was like I had arthritis all over my entire body. And that was a difficult thing, especially since I homeschooled both our children, and I was just miserable. And through a good bit of research and going to different doctors, and then finally a doctor that treated things more naturally, ended up finding out that I had an overgrowth of yeast, that all of those things had kind of created a perfect storm in my body. And I had just inflammation everywhere and leaky gut syndrome. And most of it was attributed to the overgrowth of candida or yeast in my body. So I was very, very strict on the yeast diet or anti-yeast diet, and did that for quite a while. And that's where I collected so many of my recipes. And I learned, I used to call it cooking what's left, because when the doctor sits down and tells you can't have this and this and this and this, you just kind of look at them and you're like, well, what's left? And so we really branched out on a lot of vegetables that we had never eaten before, because pretty much all I was able to eat were organic meats and vegetables. You couldn't have fruit. You couldn't have anything fermented. I mean, there's just a whole, no sweeteners, whole list of things, wheat, all that kind of stuff. And so I learned to get very creative about taking, different things like a cauliflower and learning how to mash it and flavor it. And it is as good, if not better, than mashed potatoes. In fact, we would prefer that instead of mashed potatoes, and we feel light after we finish eating instead of all bogged down from the heavy starchy potatoes. And then, that was 14 years ago. But over the last couple of years, I had a few health issues flare up and was having to take steroids. Which has made me very unhappy with the way I look. Thank goodness my husband still loves me and keeps telling me how beautiful I am, but I don't like the extra padding in the cheek and the extra padding in other areas, and it has made staying in shape difficult, plus I've just felt lousy. So, saying all that, I kind of started doing a little bit more research and figuring out that really and truly, not even just the yeast-free and some of the things that you cut out there, because rice and beans and different things like that are still, available on that yeast-free diet. But what I'm kind of embracing now is more of a whole foods, paleo type diet, which is just a lot of great animal protein, fruits, vegetables, maybe a little bit of raw honey, and lots of water. And so that's kind of where we are right now. And so I'm just kind of happy that you're here. You're joining me on the journey, because I plan on, when you look back at this in 6 months, I'm going to be looking thin and healthier and feeling great and having a lot more energy, because all the research I've done has shown that. So I figured, instead of just doing it in the privacy of my own kitchen, that I would do it here with you, because many of you probably need to take this same journey. And so let's take it together, and we're all going to be feeling great very, very soon. If you've realized that you need to change your diet because of the way you look, the way you feel, aches and pains, if you're feeling older and you want to feel younger again, whatever the reason, health issues, it doesn't matter. What we are going to do together is take these beautiful vegetables that the Lord's provided for us, and yummy fruit and delicious proteins, and we are going to learn how to make them delicious, even for your children, even for the pickiest eater. We're going to come up with things that we will all enjoy and eat. and the sight of it is going to be beautiful, and the smell of it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to entice you to continue on this journey and not jump off and eat a calorie-laden, zero nutritious candy bar or whatever, because we're going to have wonderful things that you can look forward to eating, because eating is not just something that we do to live. It's an occasion. It should be an event. It should be something that you enjoy, and that's what we're going to make it. And we're going to do it simply, and we're going to do it quickly, because I know you're like me. You have a very busy life, and you don't have time to spend hours in the kitchen. And we're also going to cover at some point doing a lot of this prep work ahead of time and stocking your freezer full or your refrigerator full on the weekends when you have a little bit more time, so that you can eat healthy all week.